In the annals of history, the question arises: which nation led the world in its early stages, and which holds that mantle today? To answer this, we must journey through time, examining the rise and fall of empires, the dawn of industrialization, and the shifting tides of global power. The dawn of global leadership centuries ago, the world was a mosaic of civilizations, each contributing uniquely to human progress. In the 15th century, the Islamic empires, particularly the Ottomans and the Safavids, were at the forefront of scientific, cultural, and economic advancements. Their contributions to mathematics, astronomy, and medicine were unparalleled, and the trade networks spanned continents, connecting the East and West. Simultaneously, the Ming dynasty in China was flourishing. Under Emperor Yongle, China embarked on maritime expeditions led by Admiral Zheng He, reaching as far as East Africa. The empire was a hub of innovation, with advancements in printing, gunpowder, and the arts. China's influence was not just regional but global, setting standards in governance and culture. In Europe, the Renaissance was igniting a rebirth of learning and exploration. Italy, with its city-states like Florence and Venice, was the cradle of art, science, and humanism. The Age of Discovery was underway, with explorers like Christopher Columbus and Vasco da Gama charting new territories, expanding Europe's horizons and laying the groundwork for future dominance. The rise of the West. By the 18th century, the Industrial Revolution began to reshape the world. Britain emerged as the epicenter of this transformation. Several factors contributed to this ascent. The agricultural revolution had increased food production, supporting a growing population. The availability of coal and iron ore fueled new industries, while a vast colonial empire provided raw materials and markets for goods. Britain's political stability and the rise of capitalism created an environment ripe for innovation. The invention of the steam engine by James Watt revolutionized transportation and manufacturing. Railways and factories became symbols of progress, and Britain's naval power allowed it to control global trade routes. Other European nations, notably France and Germany, soon followed suit. France, despite internal turmoil, made significant strides in science and industry. Germany, after unification in the late 19th century, became an industrial powerhouse, leading in chemical and electrical engineering. Across the Atlantic, the United States was rapidly industrializing. The vast resources of the continent, combined with a spirit of innovation and entrepreneurship, propelled the U.S. into the ranks of global powers. Cities like New York and Chicago became symbols of modernity, and American inventions, from the telephone to the automobile, changed the world. The 20th century, a new world order. The two world wars of the 20th century dramatically altered the global landscape. The United States and the Soviet Union emerged as superpowers, leading to the Cold War, a period of ideological, political, and military rivalry. The United States, with its democratic ideals and capitalist economy, championed the Western Bloc. Its technological advancements, including the moon landing in 1969, showcased its prowess. The Marshall Plan helped rebuild war-torn Europe, solidifying America's influence in the West. The Soviet Union, on the other hand, promoted communism and state control. Its achievements in space exploration, such as launching Sputnik and sending the first human, Yuri Gagarin, into space, were milestones in human history. However, internal inefficiencies and economic challenges eventually led to its dissolution in 1991. With the end of the Cold War, the United States stood unchallenged. The 1990s were marked by economic prosperity, technological innovation, and the spread of democracy. The Internet revolutionized communication, and globalization interconnected economies like never before. The 21st century. Shifting powers. As we entered the 21st century, the global balance began to shift. China, after decades of economic reforms, emerged as a formidable force. Its rapid industrialization, vast population, and strategic investments in infrastructure propelled it to the forefront of global affairs. China's Belt and Road Initiative, launched in 2013, aimed to enhance global trade and stimulate economic growth across Asia and beyond. By 2025, over 140 countries were part of this initiative, representing nearly 75% of the world's population and more than half of global GDP. This ambitious project underscored China's growing influence and its vision of a multipolar world order. India, with its burgeoning economy and youthful population, also became a significant player. Its IT and service sectors thrived, and initiatives like Digital India aimed to transform the nation into a global technology hub. However, challenges such as poverty, infrastructure deficits, and political complexities remain. In Europe, nations like Germany and France continued to play pivotal roles, emphasizing sustainability, innovation, and regional cooperation. The European Union, despite facing internal challenges, remained a testament to the power of collective governance. The United States maintaining influence despite the rise of other nations. The United States retained significant global influence. Its technological giants, such as Apple, Google, and Tesla, led in innovation. The U.S. military presence around the world and its role in international institutions like the United Nations and NATO underscored its strategic importance. However, internal divisions, political polarization, and challenges to its leadership in global institutions indicated a changing dynamic. The US faced competition not just from China but also from regional powers asserting their interests. The future, a multipolar world. Looking ahead, the question arises, which country leads the world now? The answer is complex. The United States remains a dominant force in many areas, but its unipolar dominance is being challenged. China is asserting its influence through economic initiatives and technological advancements. India is emerging as a significant player, especially in the digital realm. European nations continue to emphasize sustainability and innovation. The future may not see a single nation leading the world but rather a multipolar world order, where power is distributed among various nations and regions. Global challenges such as climate change, pandemics, and cybersecurity require collective action and cooperation. In this evolving landscape, leadership will be defined not just by economic or military might but by the ability to collaborate, innovate, and address global challenges. The nations that can adapt to this new paradigm and work together will shape the future of our world.